So I'm closing in on my 60-day tenure as a 40-year-old adult man, and it's only right that I give my assessment on what life is like at 40, man. All right, so we have our milestones. You know, everybody looks forward to being 16 years old and getting a driver's license. And then everybody looks toward being 18, then 21, you know, being able to buy alcohol or whatever. But hitting 40, man, hitting 40 is life changing, man. I've noticed so many things that have changed around me, inside of me, the last 60 days, man. It's unreal. And I think that 40 is one of the most misunderstood, one of the most unappreciated ages, man, that we'll ever hit.
At least for me, when I look at pictures of, say, somebody in their 40s or 50s or even in their 60s that still looks amazing, if there's an image of them on the internet and then you go and read the comments, so many of those comments are negative. So much of it is, you shouldn't be wearing a bikini at that age. Put it away. You're too old for that.
I often get questions about shorts and specifically wearing shorts over 40. You don't have to wear shorts, period, end of story. Many women don't want to wear shorts. Many of you may have issues with your legs. Maybe you have a lot of moles. Maybe you have spider veins. Maybe you have cellulite. Maybe you have thicker calves that you don't like or feel comfortable with. Maybe you have bruises. I don't know what the case may be. There are a zillion things that could make you feel self-conscious about showing your legs. So don't feel like you have to wear shorts.
Let me tell y'all, I would say this with gum in my mouth, okay? It's been 8 months since I turned 40, okay? Nobody told me that 40 is such a critical age, okay? Now, we hear about changing jobs at 40 and, you know, revamping your life and lifestyle or whatever have you. But again, people sugarcoat things. Let me tell you the real deal. 40 means you want everything new. Everything changed. You want a new wardrobe. You want a new hairstyle, hair color. You want to just change everything about who you are, your personality. You want to change your job. You want to change your friends. You want to change everything.
So, this is 40. It's a strange number because you are supposed to, I'm saying you're a grown-up, but I don't feel like a grown-up. I have grown-up responsibilities, but I still don't feel like a grown-up. I think when I look back over my 30s, and from a physical point of view, I probably spent £10,000 on Botox in my 30s, up the way to around about 38. At least £10,000 on Botox.
It's my birthday today. I am officially 40 years old. I don't have any negative associations with turning 40. I feel very happy with where I am in my life. I don't have any issues with turning 40. I like the way I look. I've already had my kids, you know, and they're at like a really fun age where they're like, you know, little humans and we get to do cool stuff together. And I'm glad I had them younger. I'm glad I'm not just starting out having kids now, although I know that's preferable to a lot of women these days. And yeah, that's right. I fucking look good and I know it, okay? I know it.
I probably spent £10,000 on Botox, but not once, all of that money in my forehead, not once did it make me look a single day younger than I was.
See, I've always heard people say stuff like, you know, 40 is the new 30. You know, I've heard that, you know, for so many years, man. But now that I'm 40, I get confused, man, because, you know, I can't understand the mindset you have to be in to even make a comment like that. 40 is the new 40.
You've been doing whatever you've been doing for 20 years. Career, style, whatever have you, for about 20 years or so. Technically, yeah, you cut your hair and yeah, your diet or whatever have you, but nothing drastic, nothing major really for about 20 years. 40 comes, it just changes you totally. Then, at least for women, for the most part, your libido goes up. You want sex all the time, unless, you know, not every female, of course, but for most females, you want sex all the time. You are at your peak. You are up there. So you're ready to hump anything, dry, wet, you don't care.
Something happens to your hormones. I'm not sure what it is. It started happening in my late 30s where I don't know what it is, but fucking just sex is better. Like way, 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 way better than it was when you were 25.
If a woman, first of all, if a woman is in her 40s and she's wearing a bikini on the beach, I read the comments that say, you shouldn't be wearing that. It's time for a one piece. You need to cover up. Nobody wants to see that. But it's worse if you're a mom. I see a lot of this, you're a mom now, you shouldn't be showing that. You're a mom now, you shouldn't be doing this.
I mean, if I didn't live in South Texas, I probably wouldn't wear shorts or would wear them very infrequently. Here are some guidelines that I hope will help you in making your selections, because I don't know. I mean, I never wore super short shorts. Never. But I do see a lot of girls these days wearing, you know, just like the really short cutoff denim shorts that show even like the curve of your behind. And they can get away with that kind of because they're in their early 20s or even younger. My point being, the days of short shorts when you're 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, those are gone. They're gone. Can't do it. Not appropriate. Not appropriate for your age. I don't care how hot and sexy your legs are.
Of course, everybody is entitled to their opinions, and they might feel like once you are a mother that you shouldn't be showing a certain amount of skin, you shouldn't be wearing mini skirts, and that is each individual person's prerogative. If that's the way they feel, they are entitled to those feelings. But I have always been of the mindset to not judge. I'm not going to judge the way a person is as a mother by the clothing that they wear. Getting back to why I love being in my 40s is because now I don't really give a crap about what other people think of me.
And that's okay. See, that's another good thing about turning 40 is like you're confident and like you really don't care what other people think. And you just don't give a fuck. You're really comfortable in your own skin. That's another good thing about turning 40 that you might not realize if you're not there yet.
Women at this age, up until 50, and in the menopause, before the menopause and all that stuff, your libido goes up. So you are humping everything going. And you want something young, fun, lively, because again, you've been doing whatever you've been doing for at least 20 years. So you want to have fun.
My overall assessment, man, I really think that you know, us hitting 40 as a people is where we're dropping the ball. 40 is the new 40. See, we're quick to talk about young men, man, when we see them walking through the malls with their pants hanging out down, or we see young women out in the malls acting obnoxious, man, with the butt cheeks hanging all out, man. But if we aren't part of the solution, man, then we're part of the problem.
If my daughter walks out of the house wearing shorts like that, she will not leave. I will lock her in the closet and she will change. But my point being,
these young people, man, they're looking for guidance. They're looking for guidance and direction, man. But they don't have anywhere to get it except music videos and reality TV. See, what we as older adults see as entertainment, they look at that and they think that, you know, this is how I'm supposed to be.
I definitely have spent a lot of time in the sun, and I'm a little bit lizard-like in the skin area. That's very apparent that I've enjoyed the sun in my life. But I mean, who gives a fuck with all these Snapchat filters? You know, you can basically just let your skin go to shit and fucking throw a Snapchat filter on that and look fucking, you know, dope as fuck.
You want to go wild, you want to do things, you want to, you know, feel young and sexy. That's another thing. You want validation. Nobody told me that. At 40, single, married, I don't care what it is across the board. 40 years old, for some reason, seems like you want validation.
You can just look like you're, you know, fresh, clean baby skin. Like they have all of those amazing filters. So basically, like that's, you know, not an issue. The skin thing isn't an issue anymore.
And of course, I've experienced that as well. The fine lines that show up, the sun damage on my chest, the knees don't look the same as they did 20 years ago, the elbows, the hands, you notice all of these changes, and they can really get you down. But these days, being in your 40s isn't like what your grandma's 40s looked like. We are taking such better care of ourselves. We know so much more about the importance of diet and exercise and staying out of the sun and all of these amazing new anti-aging products that have come out in the market. And yes, there's injectables like Botox and fillers, and there's things that I feel when done in moderation, little tweaks here and there can make you feel really, really good about yourself. Now, some of you might be saying, well, you know, on the one hand, RISA, you just said that you don't really care about what other people think, but then you're saying that you do care about your appearance. Well, yeah, they don't have to be mutually exclusive.
You want to know that you're pretty, that you're desirable, that you're wanted, that somebody from across the street down the block is looking at you. I don't know what it is or why, and maybe our bodies are getting us ready for menopause and so forth, so maybe it's like another little life change, but you want to know that you're wanted, you're needed. I want to walk down the street and have people drop their mouths because I'm looking so good in my little black, all black uniform. You know what I'm saying? But that's how ridiculous it is. But I wanted that. I wanted to be wanted. I wanted to be needed. I wanted somebody to come over and be like, you're beautiful. Just out the blue, you're beautiful. I couldn't live without you. Man, if you was my woman. And that's partly why a lot of older women around my age and older are out there at the clubs all naked and freaky deaky and having sex all willy-nilly and all these different things because they want validation.
It's not like I'm 25 and I'm going out to nightclubs and I'm like concerned with like trying to be cool, and it's like I don't know what my passion is and I don't know what I want to do with my life, and I'm still in that phase where you're attracted to like asshole guys and stuff.
I think that being in your 40s makes you more grateful. It makes you more aware of every day and the beauty of being given another day and to not take any day for granted. I just feel like the older and wiser, the idea of being older and wiser really is true.
If we know what life is like, man, why aren't we telling them what we know, man? Why aren't we pulling them to the side and says, hey, you know what, young man, young lady, this is what life is about, man. You know, you're 21, you're 22, here in the next 10, 15 years, this is what you're going to be experiencing. I mean, they may rebel, man, but like I said before, man, they're wanting that guidance, man.
Another good thing about being 40, and now I don't know if this is true for everyone, is that when I was 20, I was a little bit of an asshole. Now that I'm 40, I'm not an asshole anymore. Now this I'm reminded of because I follow a lot of little assholes on Instagram, and they're still in that phase where they're like, I'm young, I'm gonna do what's right for me and fuck everyone else and da-da-da, and it's super cool not to give a shit. They're still in that phase, and I remember being in that phase, so I've got nothing but love for you, you little asshole.
As men, you know, why aren't we going to the young guys saying, hey, you know what, man? You know, it's cool to be smart, man. It's cool to read, man. It's cool to expand your mind, and I just feel like we're dropping the ball, man. We're really setting them up for failure, man. And I think that one of the responsibilities of being 40 is being able to, you know, look back and explain to them, hey, this is what life is about.
Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Leave your comments down there. Not the happy birthday ones, though, that's nice. But leave your comments in general. What you feel, how you feel, and where you thought you'd be at the age you are now. Leave them down there. Be cool to read. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
As ridiculous as that montage may have been, it gives you a sense of the range of the opinions you can find on the internet on the topic of turning 40. And let me tell you something. If you search around instead for videos on the topic of what it's like to turn 16 or what it's like to turn 21, you are going to find many, many more opinions here on YouTube. There are very, very few people who've taken the time to come on camera and talk about what it's like to turn 40 because not too many of us are YouTubers are preserving our life, sharing it with the public for other people to scrutinize at age 40. Be that as it may. When I look at the history of my own YouTube channel here, it's always been striking to me that one of my most successful videos of all time is simply me talking about why I don't drink alcohol. And that tells you something about the social function of the internet, and YouTube in particular in 2018. I told the anecdote recently on this channel about a friend of mine who became vegan. And when she decided to become vegan, she had this shocking short-term experience where she opened a box of chicken meat, and there happened to be accidentally some chicken feathers left in there. But who did she turn to for help or guidance after she had this horrifying discovery? She didn't go to her priest, she didn't go to her father or her uncle, she didn't go to a Buddhist monk, she didn't go to some traditional authority figure. She came here on YouTube and started looking for advice, and this led her eventually to make the decision to become vegan. So in the same way, there are people, 22,000 people, most of them never heard of me before, most of them never watched my videos again afterward. 22,000 people came to my channel to hear me talk for 18 minutes about why I don't drink alcohol. What goes into that decision, what led up to that in my life, and so on, whatever else I reflected on that video. So, there's some truth to those reflections that were edited into that montage, that part of what's going on here is indeed the older generation sharing their experiences and passing on some kind of guidance and advice to the younger generation. What else do we have in the video? Look, I'm not trying to make any of these people look ridiculous, but sure, there are different moments in there I laugh at. It sure is ridiculous to hear that what really matters at age 40 is, how attractive you are, how great your sex life is, or how well you've been able to, manage some kind of concoction of healing elixirs, diet, and Botox to maintain your youthful appearance. But, something else I've mentioned here on YouTube is that, I did live long enough in life that I managed to read one of the major works of Aristotle. It's Aristotle, the ancient Greek philosopher. I managed to read his book simply titled Politics back when I was about 19 years old. And then I've been reading it again now at age 39, going on 40. And I'm someone who is both blessed and cursed with a very accurate memory. It's a curse because traumatic experiences in your life stay with you more vividly than someone who can just forget, or someone who maybe just remembers the outlines of things. But wow, reading that work of Aristotle's now, and what I see in it, what I appreciate in it, what I criticize about it, what I can excoriate about it, how I see the structure of the text, the content of the text, the way I make leaps of inference about the intention of the author, the way I see it as a product of its social and historical context, all of that has changed so much. And I'm confronted with the memory of the man I was, or the boy I was at age 19 when I read it. And some of you won't be surprised by this at all, but at age 19, I absolutely could not get past the fact that Aristotle makes excuses for slavery. And nor should I have, nor should anyone. It's horrifying to read this guy who's celebrated as a genius, who's presented as the pinnacle of, Western intellectual accomplishment, making excuses for the ownership and exploitation of slaves that I still think today anyone in the schoolyard, at least any high school student, could refute or challenge. And of course, here I am at age 39, and still to this day, I'm dealing with similarly childish excuses for, war, the brutality of governments locally and internationally. But above all else, as you guys know, the main thing I've been involved in politics the last 5 years have been the excuses people make for eating meat, for perpetuating the culture of meat, dairy, leather, etc., challenging that from a vegan perspective. Although I've tried also in my way to challenge preconceptions that people have when they're making excuses for communism, when they're making excuses for other kinds of brutality of man against man, shall we say. So this is it, guys. 40 years old. I talked to a frenemy of mine a few days ago, and he was explaining that he was quitting YouTube for various reasons. He has aspirations to be an author, spend more time writing. He has a new girlfriend. He's having more sex. These are not reasons to quit the game. You can have a very active sex life. You can have a very active intellectual life as an author, as a reader, as a student, as a teacher, what have you. And there's not reasons to quit doing YouTube. Above all else, from day one on this YouTube channel, I knew I was leaving behind an artifact for my daughter to see one day. Because my daughter may only get to know me, if I live that long, when I'm in my 60s. And there won't be something left behind of the man I was in my 40s, in that more active time of my life. And I could say honestly, if I was only getting 10 views per video, if I was getting a tiny, tiny number of viewers, it would still be worthwhile for me to come here on YouTube and share the ridiculous contradictions and struggles that are ongoing in my life. So guys, whether you subscribe or not, whether you keep watching these videos or not, whether you support me on Patreon or not, I think I can say in all due honesty, we don't know what's going to happen with technology in the future of the internet, but for me looking forward, despite all the real harm and sorrow that YouTube has brought into my life, because it has brought a lot, I can say I feel more committed than ever to try to share the unexpected developments in my life, my own philosophy, experience, whatever it is I've got to share here on the internet. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
À-bas-le-ciel.
Last time you had so much fun swimming at the beach. This time you don't want to go to the beach. Why? This is her protest song against going to the beach. Just 2 days ago. Went to the beach and you loved it. Do you remember? You remember swimming with Whaley the whale and swimming with your giant pineapple? You remember that? There was the giant pineapple inflatable thing, and you swam on it. You put on your goggles and you went in the water. Remember? You loved it. You loved swimming at the beach. Yeah, she's remembering now.
A few moments later.
I'm glad you're so confident, Level. There was a time when you were really afraid to be out in the ocean like this. Now you're just sitting around with so much confidence. It's great. Yeah, I've just come to see you. Just your nose. No, I'm gonna be good. No?
À-bas-le-ciel.